innovation for resilience and future. In this session, we would like to address a unique perspective on our immediate future, applying what we've learned so far in innovation and technology that is shaping our present and building the future. We will talk about technologies and strategies that are shaping business. So, let me introduce the panel we are going to speak with. Javier Moreno, Head of Merchant Services PayPal, Jason Maroothynaden, I don't know if I'm telling your surname right, yeah, okay. And Cristina de la Peña, CEO of Synapbox, yeah, Cristina. Thank you for coming. Just a few questions for you. Jason, you work at the European Space Agency, but with a special area where you look for applications of space technology. What are your perspective key drivers, technologies, or strategies for our future with the challenges of nowadays?
Great. Well, thank you very much, Federico, for the opportunity of speaking here. So just to let you know that the European Space Agency actually runs the world's largest space venture network, where we have about 2,000 plus businesses in the portfolio, and we've deployed over 400 million worth of euro mixed, let's say, funding mixed with grants and private capital and public capital, et cetera, et cetera. And really, the basis of that, for the focus for us, is really downstream. It's digital and space data. And the innovation really is happening in terms of how is space data, one, getting cheaper, and how is that cost turning space data into commodity that terrestrial businesses can actually use. And so what I mean by data, it's Earth observation data, and that's currently being used for things like ESG modeling and sustainability. You've got GPS data, which is being used for geolocation ventures, and also the communications pipe. So satellite-enabled communication channels is really becoming an innovation in terms of the cost of access to these things. And the communication data pipe, so to speak, is really driving a lot of innovation. And with those three, let's say, data types, the driver really is accessibility. Space is no longer a scary sector. Space is now encroaching on every single technical and industrial aspect or sector that we can think of. And that's really because the driver is a reduction in cost. And what that's meaning in terms of resilience is that that non-space companies now are furnishing or are furnishing the space sector. And because we have all these non-space companies and also space companies also competing around the world of digital tech, it's now creating a new form of collaboration. And the new form of collaboration are creating space businesses that are obvious to us, such as the satellite providers or new generation of satellite providers and satellite manufacturers, but also the not so obvious space companies that are, as I said before, are in mobility or smart cities or oil and gas or sustainability type businesses. And the other interesting driver that we're finding in the space sector is the adoption of non-space technology. For example, cloud services, which are proving now to be the digital backbone of the digital component of the space sector. And then when we start talking about resilience again, United Nations sustainability goals. Interestingly, we're finding that when we couple space data with complementary tech, such as AI or deep learning or machine learning type technologies, we can take space and the space applications in new directions. And currently we are exploring what the impact of space data is on the United Nations sustainability goals. And interestingly, we have about 40 companies that we're supporting that are directly matched to enabling these United Nations sustainability goals. So for us, we're going to see resilience, not just in the data play, not just in the new actors, whether they are space or non-space, not just in the role of private capital, but also space for good, and in particular space for enabling the United Nations Sustainability Goals.
Thank you, Jason. Let's go with Javier. Javier, what is the role of SMEs and platforms such as PayPal in this transformation?
So thank you, and thank you for having me in this very special. So as you were saying at the beginning, to be honest, I think that their role is to embrace and changes the best they can. So without losing the long-term goals, of course, but each company needs to adapt their offerings to the new ways people shop, interact, relax, etc. So, for example, at PayPal, we believe that by using the right technology, all small and medium businesses will be able to help their customers to meet this challenge. We, for example, have started offering QR codes as a way of physical payment. So these small and medium enterprises can still sell in person safely. Or also we have helped a lot of small businesses to create an online shop with our product called PayPal Commerce Platform, which allow them in a few minutes to accept payments from all countries in the world with cards or even with PayPal, so that the customers have a great variety on online payments within a unique platform.
Thank you, Javier. Cristina, you are the CEO of Synapbox, and you are using AI and science to validate content creation. What do you do and explore? What could be your main insight? Maybe even recommendation in the process of building our immediate and long-term future?
Thank you very much for having me. I think that I would like to say that it's a super exciting time. If you do some research, it seems that some people are saying that we have had 10 years of technology adoption just in the last 6 months. So if you imagine that, I think that it's a great time to go through the challenges, but as well as take on the opportunities. So from our perspective, where we are trying to figure out how people is consuming and interacting with content, we see dramatic changes on how consumers are behaving right now. I always like to say this example, like my mom, for example, she couldn't order an Uber or do something as change her image on WhatsApp. And now she's spending 2 hours learning a language online on her mobile. I'm sure that she's gonna be a complete different user from now on. So imagine that this is happening everywhere, and how we are doing things now is completely different. So we need to think that even after this, even if we go back to the normal that we knew before, users are going to be different. Like our consumers are changed. So I think that my advice on that is how do we take on that? We need to think about innovation happening today, digital integration happening today, and happening in the next 3 months, 6 months, and so on until our long-term changes and goals. And for us, it's a big opportunity to not only continue innovating, continue knowing how we can add value on making better content, from content that we see on entertainment to content that we see probably on how we are learning, how we are communicating, but also for everybody out there. I think that every vertical is going to be changed. And there is a lot of opportunity right now for both startups as well as big corporations. But I think that the biggest thing that needs to be in our mind is that it has to be fast. I mean, there is no more time to wait and see. I think that whoever does these changes in the next 3 to 6 months and have this adaptation on their mindset, it's probably not going to be in the long term. So it sounds scary, but I think that it's mostly exciting.
Indeed. We have good challenges in our hands. Thank you very much, Jason, Cristina, Javier, and thanks to everyone in the audience. Thank you.